we're going to have a quick dinner, have our orientation meeting, and then tomorrow morning, Banff. Landed in Calgary. I'm going to find Biz and Samantha. I gotta go through customs first, but we're here. Good morning, it's Banff Day. This is my hotel. It's called the Fox something. That's not very useful. The Fox something. Let me find the name. Everyone arrives today. It's called the Fox Hotel. I was right. We are going to meet up with the group. Today we're heading into the mountains. No more hotels. We're camping. We're roughing it. Kind of. But most importantly, everybody gets here. So a few people got here early yesterday, and I got to meet some people, but everyone arrives today. So stoked to get going. We just had an awesome breakfast before we go meet everybody else, but I need to introduce you to somebody. This is Biz.
Hey guys.
This is my bestie Biz. Huge food influencer from Chicago. If you don't follow her, you're gonna need to explain to me why. But she's on the trip. She went to Yellowstone too. How was Yellowstone?
It was amazing.
And
made me sign up for hiking number 2.
Yeah, she's here again. What are you most excited about?
It's just for everything. I think testing out like if I can actually climb a mountain for 7 miles. I'm from Illinois, so I can't really test the incline, but I walked 10 miles at home, so I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I was gonna say, what are you most worried about? But I think you just answered it.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be, at the very least, it's gonna be pretty. So even if we're miserable, we'll be miserable with the view.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just started raining while we were walking, so we ducked into a bar, and I just found out that Biz has never had a pickleback shot.
I've never even heard of it.
If you haven't heard of it, it's a shot of whiskey with a shot of pickle juice afterward. And y'all know how I feel about pickle juice. So
it's gonna be amazing.
Are you scared, or do you feel
I'm a
good
little
about
scared,
it?
but I'm gonna put my big girl pants on today.
It's gonna be good.
Kicking it up today.
Okay, so he just told us that there's a thing to it. Like obviously you're supposed to do the whiskey shot first, but then the pickle why? Because of electrolytes? Is that what he said?
Yeah. And so it's supposed to not make the liquor taste that bad. So we'll see.
Sounds like an excuse to have a whiskey shot to me, but let's see. Okay, ready? Cheers.
We already went to like movies and we'll hike around there. We were trying to pay for parking and it started coming out. Are you Yeah.
That was so good.
I told you, right? Yeah. Now she knows. They're here! It's starting!
We always have to wear our seatbelt, all right? So when we are running, put your seatbelts on. The door, be careful with it. Don't slam it. Just like.
What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Leanne, and I am from Raleigh, North Carolina. I ended up on this trip after I met Jeffrey at the Trans Rockies Run, which is a 120-mile run through the Colorado Rockies. And he described the Canadian Rockies, like Colorado Rockies, but on crack. And I was sold.
Did you come on this trip alone?
I did not come on this trip alone. I invited Michelle. Michelle was like all about it. She jumped on the chance. And then Lori jumped on, and then we coursed Erica to get on board.
My name is Erica. I was coursed by two very good friends of mine who convinced me to join them on this really incredible adventure that I had no idea what to expect from. But I think part of it was also I wanted to challenge myself and do some things that I had never done before and see if I could really push myself.
Driving up north on the Trans-Canada Highway. Tonight is sweet.
I am most excited about just being in the mountains. Like, I really just wanted to go with the flow. I didn't even care about which hikes we went on. Everything was such a surprise. I was so busy leading up to this event that my mind, like, it was like the last 2 weeks, and I finally, before the trip, and I finally just started packing and gathering everything. So I was just looking for just kind of just cleansing the burnout from having 3 kids and just kind of a soul reset. I mean, I just love the mountains.
All right, we're gonna need your help.
OMG, we're here. We're just like getting the campsite set up. We have like, I don't know, a few different campsites. There's two tents per campsite, but we're just getting settled in. We got here a little late, so people's flights were delayed and things, but we all made it. Everyone made it. Nobody was delayed. So we're going to have a quick dinner, have our orientation meeting, and then go to bed. And tomorrow morning, Banff.
That's Beth. That's Sarah. Yep.
Sarah, Sam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we said, yes,
That makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Really just a formality.
So we are in Lake Louise. Yeah. Finally. Yes, sir. So this is the start of the trip. It's a 7-day trip. I'm Margaret.
And I'm Cassandra. You can call me Cass. So you can maybe like say your name, say your experience.
I'm Tiffany, and I'm a novice at this. I like to hike. I like to get outdoors. I was so nervous to travel with a bunch of people I didn't know, to the point where I almost backed out. I'm like, I don't know these people. I literally would recount the number of people that were eligible to come on the trip. Oh, there's 22 people that I have to know and learn their names and work through all the different personalities and yada, 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 yada. So it was a panic almost daily. So the great thing is the group met a couple of times over Zoom and they introduced themselves. Fun group. I knew right away that this was a group of people I could get along with.
I'm Beth. I'm from Oakland, California. This is my first. I told Jeffrey on the way here. I've wanted to camp since 7th grade, and I've never done it. So like, I was like, are we like gonna sleep on the ground right now? I was like, yeah, you can sleep on the ground. Hey.
Have you ever been camping before?
No, I've never been camping before. This is my first time camping. I have 0 experience camping, and I was super nervous, and it's been great. The guides have been amazing. I think that for someone's first time camping, at least for someone like me who I do not consider myself very outdoorsy, having the experienced guides and the amazing group really has helped me get over any hesitation that I had about camping.
Okay, it's time to learn how to set up our tents, and a number of people have never been camping before, so
Okay.
This could be good.
You're gonna put the
Push down on it. Yeah. What's next? I forgot.
Oh wow, that is so easy.
I think this is like such a great thing to do camping, but it's not everybody who have the knowledge to do this. And I'm really happy to like share my knowledge with those people.
Good morning. It's day one. We're going on a hike. It's almost breakfast time. So I'm gonna get my crap together and get some food and see some stuff.
And Erica's friend.
Jasper. And we are gonna go through the Icefield Parkway all the way.
Cool.
Nice.
So we're hiking to Jasper today?
Oh, okay. I was like, that looks really far. Today we stay in Lake Louise. It's a 10-kilometer hike, like I said yesterday.
We're ready. Good morning! Happy Friday!
How was the first day hike?
Oh my gosh.
What was Lake Louise like?
I mean, you see all the pictures online and you're like, that is Photoshop for sure. So to see it in person and know that it's real was flabbergasting. I can't find the word. It's unbelievable. I mean, the water and it, for me, where the trees and the mountains meet the water is where my soul lives. Like and so to sit there, for me personally, I felt like I belonged in this place, but it was, if there's a heaven, then that was probably what it is.
Lake Louise was just hard to believe it was real. I'm Amy.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we're from Kansas City. It was just hard to believe that those colors just exist in nature. I don't think I've seen those shades of blue or teal in real life before.
Y'all, it's our first day and we started with Lake Louise. This is bonkers. It is one of the most famous spots in Banff. It's a turquoise river. Hopefully the color is coming through. We're gonna hike up and around it, so we'll see plenty of it, but this is the first time we've seen it, so we had to have a full-on photo session, you know, as one does.
Oh, first of all, Lake Louise is gorgeous. It's this beautiful expanse, like the mountains just expand on the side, and it has this gorgeous like emerald green color, and you're just it's just kind of unreal. And then you kind of trot along on the side and you go up to Lake Agnes where there's a tea house, and if you're lucky, it's open. And that was something that I tried to course Erica into coming because I know she likes tea, and I was like, oh, there's this tea house. And before we arrived, I found out it was supposed to be closed.
I think a couple of things that I'm most excited about is one, summiting any mountain because I've been training really hard and I want to make sure that I can actually do it. And the other thing that I'm most excited about is the tea house at one of the top of one of the hikes. but I found out that it was closed, so we're not going to be able to do that. I'm an avid tea drinker, and going to visit the tea house would have been a beautiful experience for me.
We're on our way up, we're making it. It's kind of hard. This is not Lake Louise. We just stopped to take a little break up here at this lake. We've got just a little bit more to climb. We're going to a tea house that's closed, but we're going to go to the tea house and see it and then head back down. All right, we're hiking, we're climbing. How are we doing, girls? This is the hard part. Is this our hardest hike? Or most elevation change?
I think so.
I think it might be doing like 1,800 feet, but over pretty small. The climb is just over a couple miles, but the top will definitely be worth it.
The hike itself, it was supposed to be, you know, a challenging hike. I knew it was going to be challenging, but I did not know it was going to be as challenging. When the hills didn't stop and they started right away, like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. So, but I mean, we all made it to the top. That's what was fantastic about it. There was not a single person left behind because we just continue to push each other and encourage each other along the way.
So the first day's hike for me was strenuous, to say the least. The guides told us that it was a moderate hike, and when I got there, I was like, I'm like climbing up a mountain? Like, what is happening here? I'm thinking I was gonna like have these little jaunts and stuff, and it was nothing like that. But I persevered. Again, I wanted to quit like 100 times, and I just had to keep going, and I knew that the view from the top, once we got up to the top, was worth all the agony getting up there. And I survived, but it was good.
How you feeling, Biz?
I'm feeling great.
We're almost to the top. We thought we were at the top. We weren't quite at the top, but we're gonna be there soon. And then we'll head down. Okay, we're at the top. We were promised a view. I think we got it. Okay, we made it to the top. This is Lake Agnes. It wasn't crazy easy, but it also wasn't hard. We're here, we made it, and we're at the tea house. And it looks like it might be open. Are we gonna get some food or tea? We also have lunch, but maybe we'll have 2 lunches. What do you say, Beth?
Yep, let's do it.
We're two lunch people. Did you get to have your tea?
I got to have my tea. I was so excited. I cried when I got to the top. I'm not kidding. I cried when I got to the top of that hike. Because it was quite steep and challenging for me, but it was, I felt like super accomplished. And then I got to sit down and have tea, and they had my favorite tea, which was black currant. So it was awesome. It was just an amazing experience.
Luckily for us, it was open a few days early, and honestly, like seeing her excitement to get to the tea house was amazing. Just seeing your friend just experience joy in something that they love. And it was open, and we got to share tea, and we got to try each other's different teas and get biscuits and jam. It was awesome. It really made that day so great.
The tea house, oh my gosh, so it's on top of this mountain, and they have like 8 different kinds of teas, soups, breads, anything that you can think of like homey, and you're in the most luxurious location. It's like overlooking a waterfall, and it just was spectacular. So just to be able to sip on some hot tea and people watch, because there was a lot of people there, it was one of my favorite things.
Probably the thing I was the most nervous about too, actually, was downhill hiking. So I'm just a slow downhill hiker, but you know what? This community and group has been so wonderful that after the first couple moments where we all just kind of clung on to each other and helped each other, it wasn't going to be a problem. And so that has been awesome. Like I haven't been afraid to do it. So that's been great.
How do you know Jeffrey?
We
Let me wrap this into 2 things. How do you know Jeffrey, and like, what was he like in high school? What do you remember about him?
Okay.
Good morning. It's day 2. We have 2 hikes today. A hike this morning and then a hike in the afternoon to go look at some waterfalls. Should be a slightly easier day. We were all freaking exhausted yesterday. I think everybody slept like a rock. I didn't wake up once, which I think is a first for camping. I don't think I've ever slept a night in a tent that I didn't wake up at least once. But we're gonna have a more chill hiking day today, and then tomorrow we're going walking on the glacier.
I'm on this trip because I like to do fun things, and I don't like to plan them. And so when Elizabeth asked if I wanted to do this, I couldn't say no.
What were you most nervous about?
Oh, she didn't read the itinerary. My anticipation for this trip was just highly on not only knowing that we were going to do fun things, but I didn't really read the itinerary. I just knew I wanted to be here, and I was going to have fun no matter what we did. So I've had a lot of fun at the meetings each night as they explain to us what we're doing the next day.
There's a 2 kilometers steepness and 300 elevation gain in 2 kilometers. So it's gonna be steep at the beginning, but after that it's gonna be fine. All right.
And it's short.
Yeah, it's really short. Like
It's gonna be easier than yesterday.
We came on this trip because I have always wanted to come to Banff specifically. It was a bucket list item for me for a very long time. And so I know Jeffrey from high school.
What was he like in high school? What do you remember about him?
We know Jeffrey because we went to high school with him many years ago.
Go Bulldogs. My experience with Jeffrey in high school, like the thing that comes to mind the most is him being the drum major of our very successful marching band. Marching Bulldog Pride?
Golden
Bulldog. I have no idea. The Golden Bulldog Marching Band. That's it. And just the energy he had and the awards that he won for being like the most entertaining drum major. And just knowing that he was a lot of fun. And so we've kept up with him over the years.
And now we're best friends with 18 of his other best friends.
Yeah, we're best friends.
Yeah.
We're almost to the top. We're almost to the hoodoos. This is a hoodoo trail. That's the name of it, I think. A hoodoo is a rock formation. If you've been to Bryce Canyon in southern Utah, those are hoodoos. This hike was a lot steeper than we expected. We were told that today was going to be substantially easier than yesterday. Fake news. Natalie, is it true?
It was supposed to be really easy today and not as bad as yesterday.
And what's your opinion?
It's pretty steep.
Pretty steep.
It's pretty steep.
I see some cool hoodoos up there though, so.
It'll be worth it anyway.
Yeah, I think it'll be worth it. I gotta put this camera away so I can breathe. What about the second day hike? How did everyone do, not only you?
Okay. So the second day hike, we went to the hoodoos. That hike was incredibly difficult, at least for me. Only because there's drop-offs and I'm a little bit afraid of heights. And so there was a few times where I was leaning onto the mountain, just maybe crawling up a little bit, but it was incredible. I mean, just to be up that far into the sky and see those beautiful trees. There is some artwork that just has all these different trees and they're slightly different colors. And it was the first time when I look out across this mountain, I'm like, that's where they get the artwork from, is this picture right here where it's just gorgeous.
I didn't think I was afraid of heights until we got to the very tippy top. And I thought, oh, this is a great picture. I went to go take a picture and I was like, oh, that may have been a bad idea, because I looked down and it was a straight drop. So it was really high. But there's things that you wouldn't be able to see from driving across the road or even from the base of the mountain. It's a whole nother world up there. So it's exciting to go and adventure and see what the mountain itself has to offer.
I'm on this trip because I really wanted to push myself physically, mentally. Yay!
Got this.
I lost 30 pounds last year, and I knew that a year ago I could not have done the things I did this trip.
We all made it. Pretty cool.
Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Yeah, it's funny because we thought that the hike was just, a couple hundred feet uphill in the beginning, and then it was supposed to flatten out, and that didn't quite go that way. It kind of was like up and up and up. And yes, it was beautiful, but I just felt so accomplished at the end of it. And even though the down is the hardest part for me, it felt really short and manageable because the group did a really great thing and put all the slow hikers first, and they led the group, and then it was like no big deal because we just took our time. Our guides really are able to accommodate our trip to what we need it to be, because we were supposed to do 2 hikes that day and that just wasn't going to work. So then we went to a lake and I jumped in with all my clothes on, which I've never done before in my life, but I love swimming and I was really hot, and who cares at this point? I'll jump in a lake with all my clothes on.
3, 2, 1 for me.
chargeur de charge électrique dans le sol de la Colombie-Britannique. Baby, c'est my plane.
All right, we just got back to camp. It was a great day, gorgeous hike. Much harder than we were expecting. Much harder than we were led to believe, but it was still cool. We went and saw the hoodoos. Those are those pinnacle-like rock structures. If you've been to Bryce Canyon in southern Utah, that's what those are there. It's same thing. But we did it. Everyone got to the top. It was really challenging for some people, and everyone powered through. Every single person got to the top. It was a good day. We went to a lake, an awesome glacial lake. We got to go for a quick swim. The water was so cold because it's come straight off of the glacier, but it felt so good. Then we made a quick pit stop, got some snacks, drinks and things, and now we're just back at camp. I'm gonna take a shower. We're all gonna have dinner, and I think we're all pooped again, so probably gonna be an early night. But tomorrow we're going to the glacier. We are going on an ice walk. We are walking to the glacier, on the glacier, not to the glacier, on the glacier. I've never been on a glacier before, so pretty stoked.
And to walk through it, it just, can I say badassery on your, like I felt like a bad mother grandma.
Good morning. We are up, and Adam, I'm just packing up my tent. Everybody else is having a quick bite to eat. We're packing up camp. We are heading to the Athabasca Glacier. We're gonna go do a glacier walk. And then we are relocating to our new campground outside of Jasper. And tomorrow is river rafting, which, if you've experienced my Patagonia kayaking fiasco, I'm an absolute shit show. A little nervous. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But I'm nervous. We'd start every day the same. If it was a day we were moving camps, we first had to take down our tents. And for some of us, that was a bigger challenge than for others. Because for a lot of people on this trip, this was their first time camping ever. Like ever. So we'd start with the awesome breakfast. Our guides would give us a rundown of the day, but I cannot recommend a trip like this enough if you have never camped before, because almost everything is taken care of. Logistics, food, gear. You just have to bring a few things. We just made another quick stop at Pito Lake. More gorgeous than the last. It just keeps getting better and better. Seems like that's the trend. Okay, we are on our way to the glacier, but we made a quick pit stop at Bow Lake. There's a little coffee shop, a little cafe. So, got some pastries, some coffee, walking down the lake. The view looks like it's probably gonna be ridiculous. Let's check it out. The same thing kept happening again and again in Banff. You know, we knew each day's itinerary. We knew the day's big activities. Oh, today we're walking on a glacier. We knew that was the big activity for the day. But then we just stopped for a quick bathroom break. And this was the bathroom break. There's so many ridiculously gorgeous things in this one tiny part of the world that something like this is mediocre. It's mind-blowing. It seems like this is kind of Banff's MO, but like, we were just told we were stopping to go to the bathroom. There was no warning of like, oh hey, also this. Because it's just everywhere. What's your favorite thing about Banff?
I think
the ice field, the glacier. That's very impressive, and like fresh air, a little bit cold, but like very pure. So the ice wall there at your left, you see the car there, the parking? This is the beginning of the ice wall.
Oh, wow.
We are gonna go there where there's the coffee museum and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And after we are gonna drive there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I had my lunch and I thought I was done, but then I saw someone with poutine, which if you haven't had poutine, it's French fries with gravy and cheese curds. The gravy is actually vegan, the cheese curds are not, but I had to have it. It's a Canadian thing, so if you're in Canada, you gotta try it. Unless it sounds disgusting, then don't.
I was most excited for the hiking. That's what I like to do for fun. But I've found since I got here that the activities that I wouldn't have planned for myself if I was planning a solo adventure have turned out to be the best. Like the glacier walk. That is something I never would have booked for myself if I were planning my own activity, but it was probably the best thing we did. It was so much fun.
So, we're going for a casual stroll today.
When they said we were going to go on a glacier walk, I was like, what does that mean? I'm just going to walk over ice? Like I just thought I was going to go up a little thing and we're just going to walk on ice and then come back down. No, that was not true. That was not true at all. And then once they gave us these little, I don't even know what they call it, that you put them on your feet and they've got little pegs on it, I don't know, so that you don't slip on it. And after a half mile in, they're like, here you go. You got to put these on to go the rest of the way. On the trek up, I wanted to quit. I didn't. I even mentioned to Jeffrey, I was like, I don't think I can do it. And he's like, just take your time. It's going to be fine. And I was always last. I didn't care. Because the moment I got there, it just was so stunning to see the waters rushing down in this glacier is something I will never see probably in the rest of my lifetime.
Glacier was a lot of fun. To be honest, when I researched it online, I'm like, that looks like a lot of like black and brown soot. What is that? I think I'll pass. And then I decided to do it anyways, and it was just crystal white snow all the way through. And then so you know, as you approach, it looks like a lot of dirt because of the way the mountain moves and the glacier moves. But then you get to that point where it's just crystal white snow. And so you walk up there and it's just endless. And to walk through it, it just, can I say badassery on your, like I felt like a badass motherfucking grandma. So it does something to your psyche for sure.
We're on a freaking glacier.
It's insane. I cannot even believe I'm standing on a glacier. I've got, like, what do we call these things?
Crampons.
Yeah, I've got things so I can climb on the fucking ice.
Oh my God, I was like, okay, at the glacier, I was like a kid on Christmas. There was only one rule at the glacier, and that was not to get in front of our guide, Rupert. He told us so many stories, and everything we asked him, he just was so interesting and so kind and wanted our safety to be number one, and was like checking ice, but not because he wanted to show off, just because he thought that that was like the right thing to do to keep us all safe. And it just felt I was very scared to go in the beginning, but once I got on the ice, oh my gosh, it was just so fun. I felt so exhilarated. I actually haven't felt that good and that happy with life in a really long time, and it was just good. Really, really good.
we also got to drink glacier water and eat glacier ice, which was really awesome. And I think one of the best parts about the trip overall has been how much experience and knowledge all the different guides have, whether it's our guides for our group for the week or the guide that led us on the glacier. He just has so much information, and every random question that's popped into my brain that I've thrown out, he's had a story or something interesting or some strange fact. And so I've loved having the opportunity to learn from these people who grew up around here and just have all the experience with these different things.
Our guide is walking out to see if it's safe for us to go look down into this crevasse, but there's like this crazy, it's called a water slide or something. All this water is like rushing, making a tunnel going down into the glacier. So I'm a little scared, but I'm gonna walk out there. I can't come this far and not see all the features. Can you imagine? Is just using a pole to test the snow to see if it's safe or if we're gonna fall in a crevasse. We're trying pretty hard not to fall in a crevasse.
When I was on the glacier, I just thought I would never have done this stuff on my own. The guides were so helpful to push us beyond because they seemed to understand what we could do beyond what we understood what we could do. And I never expected, I just got the feeling from the guides that they weren't going to let me chicken out.
The glacier was incredible, stunning in all the ways. It was just being on that piece of ice that has been there for years, knowing that it's receding. It was just magical, and also a stark reminder of just the things that are happening environmentally in the world. But it was really, really beautiful and inspiring.
I need to start this episode with an apology. If it seems like this episode is just a bunch of pretty images with music over it and not a lot happening, that's because, well, it is. Today, a member of our group received some horribly tragic news and had to leave us early. And even though we'd only known each other for 5 days, that's all it took for us to just fall absolutely head over heels with this girl and her mother and sister who were traveling with us as well. And to be frank, I just wasn't in the mood to talk to the camera. It would be an understatement to say the group was in a funk for a bit. Our hearts were just absolutely broken for her. But the one thing I'm responsible for on these trips is the vibe. And I took some time in Jasper while we had lunch to reset my mood and try to get everybody jazzed and excited to go river rafting. And I was successful but it would be an understatement to say that there was not a pensive cloud over the group for the rest of the trip. This is Malign Canyon, and photos and video cannot do it justice. The insane volume of water rushing through this canyon. You can see how over thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years it has carved this gorgeous canyon into the mountain. One of the most interesting things to me was where it seemed like a river was just rushing out of a rock wall. We know water travels down rivers and through streams, but to see it flowing through rock is pretty cool. Okay, it's officially time to go rafting. I'm excited, mostly. We'll see how this goes. I think it's gonna be completely different than kayaking. We're in these big rafts, like multiple people. So, it's probably gonna be fine. Maybe. Who's ready to go rafting? It's fine. Turns out the wetsuits in Patagonia just didn't fit me. Apparently it's not quite as stressful or catastrophic to put a wetsuit on if it fits you, so. But don't worry, yet again, I look kind of cute.
What I'm most worried about is the whitewater rafting. I've never done that before. I've kayaked and I've canoed, so hopefully it's kind of the same thing.
It's time to go waterproof, so no more audio. Wish me luck.
Today we went on a rafting trip, and I will say I was a little nervous at first, but let me tell you, it was fun. And if you get a hold of it, you just ride those waves. And I kind of wish it was a little bit more intense. And I wish I sat in the front, just because I think it would have been so fun, even to get drenched, but just riding those waves and just going down the mountain. The guides did a wonderful job just directing the raft kind of around the river. But what was interesting is just they would have us paddle, and then all of a sudden we'd stop, and then we'd kind of drift kind of sideways, and then we'd go and then drift this way. And it was just neat. It was neat to kind of experience it. That was my first time rafting.
I was a little bit worried about the rafting trip when the little speech the guides give you ahead of time say that if you fall in the water, all they're gonna have to do is push you down in the water and pull you all the way back up. And I was like, I hope to God that's not me. I mean, I'm pretty much a fantastic swimmer now because I've been swimming for 2 years, but in the frigid water, I didn't want that to happen. And you know what? Being in a whitewater raft was not as unsecure as I thought it was going to be. We had wetsuits on. It was almost more of a workout to put the wetsuits on than the actual whitewater rafting, but it was all worth it. Didn't care how my body looked. It didn't matter at all. But that was probably the highlight of my trip. That and the ice glacier.
It was so, I mean, it's fun to get out there and do something physical, but it's fun to do it out there with a group of people who are all experiencing the same, and you're working towards one goal. And then to be surprised by all the waves that come at you, it just makes it for, I don't know, it's a surprise. I don't know anything better than that, so.
What is the hardest you've laughed so hard on the trip?
I think the hardest that I have laughed on the trip, on this trip, is the rafting. My name is Lori Block, and I am from Wilmington, North Carolina. I have never laughed that hard in my life. But of course, we were in the front, so we got all the water. But that, I mean, it was fabulous.
What's the hardest you've laughed on the trip?
I feel like I've laughed this entire trip, whether it's been on a trail or on the whitewater rafting today. Probably at our campsites.
Yeah, we've laughed a lot.
We've laughed a lot.
Whether it's just sitting by the river or today our guide might have dubbed us a drunken spider as we tried to row our raft. So clearly no skills are required for that. But the whole trip has just been so much fun, and I've laughed so hard that my stomach hurt multiple times.
Okay, that was so much better than last time. Like, so much more chill. Patagonia was not a normal rafting experience. We did it! It was so fun. It was gorgeous. There were some rapids, but not a ton. Just the right amount. And yeah, nobody fell in. So, good day. Good morning. It's the last day. Next to the last day, but the last day is just driving to the airport. We are headed back to Banff. We are going to go back to Banff, stop at the Athabasca Falls. Apparently they're pretty. Then we've got some time to hang out in Banff. And then tonight we are taking a gondola up the mountain for dinner to say goodbye.
It was so fun. Normally, it's actually really hard.
Is it weird to say the drives to and from all the activities we did were one of the best parts of the trip? Because I don't think there was ever a second where the view was not absolutely stunning. You know, it's interesting. My husband, Martin, and I live in a very busy city, Los Angeles, and I never notice the noise and chaos. But every time I escape into the mountains, or the woods, or the desert, I immediately notice its absence. And I immediately relax. Jeffrey, then why do you live in a huge city? Well, we don't have time for that one today. It's complicated. Okay, we're back in Banff. We have a few hours to chill and explore. We're gonna go see another waterfall. film a dance reel, priorities, and then we'll head to the campsite before we take the gondola up to dinner. So let's go enjoy our last few hours in Banff. Okay, we just got to our new campsite in Banff, and we got back to the campground, and our guides had set up all of our tents. How sweet is that? Very sweet. So we're gonna go take a gondola up to the top of a mountain. We're gonna have dinner up there. It's the last night, but we're gonna have real food. Our camp food has been amazing, but we're gonna have like a real meal, like in a restaurant, like real humans who don't live in the woods.
These trips are so freaking rewarding for me. First of all, they make me so proud of the people that my cringy trail dancing TikToks have attracted. People always ask, oh, have you had some terrible people on your trips? It must be so stressful to deal with all the personalities. But I wouldn't know. Everyone has been absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so proud of the fact that you can pluck 20 random people from my followers, and they're kind, inspiring, adventurous. That's pretty cool.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. What a way to end a trip. This is bonkers. We had dinner up here. Can't remember the name of the mountain. Sorry, I'll put it in the description or something.
The Sulphur Mountain.
But what a week, yet again. 19 strangers. Not everyone's strangers. Some people came with friends, group of 4, group of 2, but mostly strangers. And we just spent the last night cackling, having wine with this ridiculous view. Heading home tomorrow. We're gonna go back. We've got one last night at camp. We'll have a good time, good last night, and get everyone home safe tomorrow. Good morning. It's our last morning. We just packed up all of our stuff, packed up our tents, our bags, we're having breakfast, and then we're gonna head to the airport. We have like an hour and a half drive to Calgary. It's kind of a bummer. These people were really cool. We met some cool people, had some had some laughs. So it's always a little bittersweet, but the next adventure can't begin if this one doesn't end. So onward.
The tea house day hike, that whole thing, I love that.
Just to come into a group and be able to, you know, make friends with everyone and not know anybody here.
Oh, our guides.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No, that
You guys seriously
it wouldn't have been the same trip without the two of you.
No way.
Literally.
Tag on to that. I would never would have. I mean, I've done a lot of solo trips, but I never would have pushed myself to the point that you guys did. I would have come back around. So I really love the fact that we were able to do this as a group, and that you guys had a plan, and I did so much more than I would have done on my own.
I think that's my highlight too. I saw a lot of people do things that they were scared of, uncomfortable with, and nobody quit. So that's really cool.
What did you learn this week?
I learned that you could go camping and not just have hot dogs.
All right, so here's a couple things that I have to say about traveling, especially if you're older. I'm 55. Life doesn't end. I'm a widow. I've been a widow for 9 years. My husband didn't like to travel. I am making up for time, that's for sure. But that's the thing, is that life is short. You don't know when it's going to end, or and no one is guaranteed tomorrow. So if you keep on thinking that, oh, when I get to 50, I'm going to start doing this, or I'm going to save till I'm 60. The people we bought my house from, they had saved up their whole entire lives, had an RV in the back of the lot that we bought, and they never got to take that trip because they both passed away within 3 months of both retiring. And their 4 children said they never went anywhere because they were just squirreling away all their money for this glorious thing. So my tip to you is just do it. It doesn't matter. Figure out the money if you have to. Save up for a year, but it's totally worth it.
Good morning! Happy Friday!
And then the other thing I'm going to say is I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I was always nervous to take trips like this because it's out of my comfort zone. Like, I know how to manage my glucose levels at home, but like, I wasn't in control of the food. I wasn't in control of where we went, how far we went, or anything. And I did okay. It was fine. I managed it, and there was, a couple highs, couple lows, but for the most part, I was able to do it. So if you're also have a little chronic illness of some sort, I think you can do it. Just push through, and the memories you make will be so worth it.
And she's leaving out the most important part. She's one of my besties.
Yes, I am.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. For anyone who is thinking about going on any of these trips, especially as a mom, we sacrifice so much for our kids and our family that this type of trip is really for just relieving yourself and disconnecting, not making any of those decisions, and being fed. Like, you don't have to feed anyone. You are being fed, and it's all good food. I remember the first time I went away from my kids, which was last year. I was really nervous and I was a little sad. Each year it gets a little bit easier because you're preparing each year a little differently. You learn from the year before to make sure that your partner and your kids are set, especially when they're a little young. And yeah, like, it's something that I feel is more for your mental health, so that when you go back, you are refreshed and you're ready to just get it done for another year.
I've called you from distant lands, flown to your side whenever I can, but it's a force I can't understand. No matter how long or where I am, drawn home,
always. As much as I absolutely love to travel and explore the world, I think I also love coming home just as much. I love taking the risk of making myself uncomfortable by traveling to an unknown place with unfamiliar people, but I also really love coming home to my bed and my coffee and my cute little family.
Hello! Hi! Want to watch another video? Click here. Want to learn more about my upcoming trips? Click here. Want to subscribe and like all my videos and turn those bell notifications on?